Hello, beautiful human being. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Subscribe. In this video, I'm gonna be telling you about 10 fun things to do here in Playa del Carmen that are actually in Playa del Carmen. And what I mean by that is when I first came to Playa and I was Googling things to do in Playa, it was just like take a trip to the Chichen Itza or go to the Fifth Avenue or Las Fundadores, which is like basic stuff. We already know that. Or it's things outside of Playa del Carmen. And so I wanted to give you all a list of things to do in Playa del Carmen that are actually in the vicinity, okay? No more than 15 minutes from where you're staying if you are here in Playa del Carmen. So let's get into the list. All right, number one on the list is Alush. Now, Alush is a restaurant, a fine dining restaurant that is in a cave. So it was once a cave, and then somebody came along one day and decided to make it into a restaurant. It is this beautiful space. There is a little baby cenote in there if you want to check it out. They have a wine cellar. And if you guys hear noises in the back,
it's not me.
it's her. After you go there for dinner, you can take a tour of the whole place. Like, it is seriously so huge. And they named it after, you know, the Alush spirits or sprites that may exist there. That's where it got its name. And Alush is essentially, like I said, a spirit. They're like little tiny beings that are usually thought to be dressed in like traditional Mayan clothing. And there's a space in Alush, if you take the tour after, there is a space there with like a table and chairs, and like you can put your offering, usually money or whatever it is that you have. You can make an offering to the spirits, I guess, just as a thank you for, you know, allowing us in their space in this cave. And the food there is really, really good. I have only tried a couple of things. I haven't tried everything on the menu, but the fish is really, really good. So any of their fish dishes are amazing. And last time I went there, I tried a steak and it was pretty good as well. And the dessert, I got the dessert where they're like throwing fire, mixing the alcohol with the flames, and then pouring it over the chocolate concoction. I forget what I ordered, some chocolate cake thing, and it was a show and it was so good. The service there is amazing as well. It is on the pricier side, so if you do go there, be prepared to spend some coin. I would say be prepared to spend at least 100 US for like an appetizer and your main meal. Of course, it really depends on what you're getting, but you are paying for an amazing experience, so it's absolutely worth it. And I recommend, if you are in Playa del Carmen, to visit this place at least once. The next couple of things on this list are going to be museums. The first museum being the Chocolate Museum here in Playa. I was not expecting the experience that I got when I went in there. It was so nice. Like, you walk into their storefront, first of all, with like chocolate that they make themselves. They have all of these different unique flavors, and you can purchase whatever you want at the end of your little tour. But you walk in, it's a self-guided tour, and they have each of these rooms and each of these stages that basically explain the history of chocolate and its significance to the Mayan people throughout history. And they have a few different languages for you to choose from. So if you are visiting from another country, they have, I believe, English, French, German, Spanish, and then one other language that they have. They have these wax figure displays, and then there's a little panel there with each of the languages, and you press it, and then they go into explaining, you know, what's happening in the scene and chocolate's significance at that point in time. So if you are like me and you love learning about this stuff and nerding out about these kinds of things, this is definitely something that is worth the experience. And you can take your time, you can walk through, especially if you go on like a weekday, or I think when I went it was a Sunday and there was like nobody there. So it was so nice. I could literally just take all of the time that I needed to walk through and learn about the experience of chocolate. I'm the type of person, when I go to a museum, I like to read all of the little things on the wall and all of the significance and everything like that. So I like to take my time, you know, versus, you know, when you go to a museum in a group of people and there's a tour guide and they're taking you around and like you have to kind of go at their pace, you know, but here you can take your time. So if you're into that stuff, highly recommend checking it out. The next museum that I recommend you checking out is the Frida Kahlo Museum. If you're not aware who Frida Kahlo is, she was very iconic and influential for Mexican culture as a whole. She was an artist. She suffered with very grave injuries from an accident that she was in, and that really inspired her to create her art, and she ended up being the first Mexican Latin American person to be featured in the Louvre in France. So that is a huge deal. Frida Kahlo is an iconic person here, and so if you want to learn more about her life, her history, her impact on Mexican culture, I highly recommend that you check out this museum. You do have an option of being with somebody and going on a tour and have them explain things to you, or you can just walk around yourself and read everything that's going on. This museum is heavy on the reading, so you are going to be walking through and you have to read about her life to make your way through the museum. Her paintings are there as well, although I don't believe that they're the original paintings. They are copies of her art that she did. When I was there, I really felt like I could feel her pain, and I really saw how she lived her life really reflected through her art, and just how much of like a free spirited person that she was, but also struggling with mental health issues, and I feel like a lot of us can relate to that. Another cute thing about it as well, when you do pay the admission fee, you get a little tote bag with like little pictures of Frida Kahlo all over it. So it's a really cute souvenir that you get to take home with you after going to the museum. Number 4 on this list is Coco Bongo. Coco Bongo is this huge place. It has a lower floor and then an upper deck. It's essentially a huge club. Then there's also performances that happen as well. So you have like aerialists coming in and dropping down from the ceiling and doing their tricks and flips, and then they have like a main upper stage as well where like there's the whole show dancers, everything like that. Like the people get dressed up in costumes. They play music from literally every single genre. The R&B, they play the rock music, they play the pop music, the hip hop. Like if you want to go and experience a night where they play everything and the energy is up all the time, I highly recommend that you check out Coco Bongo. I will say though, if you do choose to go on a weekend, expect it to be very crowded, especially during high season, because when I went the first time, I got the regular pass and I was on the floor, like the main floor, and you were body to body with everybody. Like you literally could not move without bumping into somebody. And so we paid to upgrade ourselves to the upper balcony with a table and a bottle, and that was a lot more comfortable of an experience for us. But I definitely recommend that you experience it at least once. And I also made a full video review of my Coco Bongo experience. So if you want to check that out and check out more of my thoughts on my experience at Coco Bongo, I am gonna leave that video in the description for you guys. All right, number 5 on this list is Deck 5. This is a place where I feel like it's known but not really known, but I have to tell you guys about it because it is so beautiful up there. This is a rooftop club that is at the top of a hotel, and they're open every day. So if you want to go out there and catch a little rooftop pool, bar, food, chill vibe, that is definitely the spot that you want to check out. And because they're on a roof of a hotel right along the beach, the view that you get from that rooftop is stunning. Like that is honestly one of the better photo spots even here in Playa del Carmen, in my opinion. So you can go, you can eat, drink, be merry, enjoy the music, have a chill time, take in the amazing beach in front of you, and truly enjoy yourself. I've been there a few times now, and every time it is truly a vibe up there. So I feel like they have a good balance of like, if you want to come and chill and hang out, they do have events and other things that they host as well, where, you know, there's a bit more people and, you know, the music's more bumping and it's a bit more of an energetic vibe as well. Highly recommend. Perfect segue from that, going into number 6 on my list are the beach clubs here in Playa that you need to experience. So I've been to a couple of beach clubs in my time here. I need to go check out more, but from the ones that I've been to so far, I really recommend Encanto Beach Club. Very, very chill vibe. And then also the community out here, if you are a person of color, there is a community here that exists called High Vibes Playa, and they throw events every week, multiple times a week. The people of color in our community that exist here in Playa, they get together and party and have a good time. I will leave the link for them below as well if you want to check them out and see what events that they're throwing. But a lot of the times they will host an event there at Encanto Beach, and I've been there a couple times now, and it's a good vibe. You know, you got the bar in the back, and then you have ample seating. They even have some like beds and stuff and things that you can rent out, and of course the access to the beach, which is lovely. Martina Beach Club is also another beach club that I think you should check out. They have the DJ, they have the restaurant, they have the dancers, and again, of course, the beach access. And so overall, it is just a good time. And you are in a beach town, so going to the beach is definitely a must. Number 7 on this list, if you want a more relaxing or even a more spiritual experience, I recommend that you check out, oh gosh, I'm gonna say this name completely wrong. I don't know, X's in Spanish are still kind of hard for me to pronounce. Paishen, I think I'm saying that right. Paishen de Mezcal. They offer massage services, they offer sound baths, they offer Reiki, like energy healing. Also, they offer a chance for you to participate in a Temazcal ceremony. Now, I have not participated in one because I am scared, but if it's more your thing, I would recommend that you do it at least once. It is a very Mayan, you know, Mexican traditional thing to do when you want to go inside of yourself, find answers, go deep into your subconscious, and have a whole spiritual experience. So what a temazcal is basically you're in this dome or this enclosed space, and you're there with, you know, somebody who's guiding the experience for you. They have these like very hot stones, and you know, they pour water on it, so it gets very, very steamy, and you're all in this enclosed space together, and you're in there for a while. So you are just sitting there in the heat, but it is said to, you know, induce realization, and it's kind of similar to, I guess, like taking plant medicine without taking plant medicine, if that makes sense. But that is a very interesting and different experience, unique to Mexico, where if you are open to doing something like that, this is a place that hosts that, and you can go check it out. Or if you just want to enjoy the other experiences they have, you know, the sound healing, the Reiki, energy cleansing, massage, everything like that, definitely worth checking that place out for sure. Number 8 on this list is the club strip. When I googled things to do in Playa del Carmen, like I didn't see this street come up at all, which is interesting because it's literally where the majority of people go to party, and it's a good time. So it's essentially this literal street right in the middle of 5th Avenue. There's about like 6 or 7 clubs, all just side by side, lined up together. It's a really, really cool experience. All of the clubs have different music, so if you like more like hip hop and rap, there is Prana for you to check out. If you like more reggaeton, there is La Vaquita. If you like more like techno, EDM, there is Mandala. If you want more of a local vibe, like you want to go somewhere where there's not so many tourists, there is Mamba Roof. So it's just this big collection on this street of clubs, and each have their own vibe. So if you want to go out and have a good time, definitely check out that club strip. The clubs on this strip, they're open until about like 2 a.m., 2:30 a.m. So this is a bonus little tip on the list. There are some after party spots that you can check out if you are open to take like a 5 to 10 minute walk down Fifth Avenue. There is La Victoria, which is open usually I think till about like 5 a.m. So if you are ready to party at the after spot, there is that. There is Coyote as well, which is a great after party spot. Playa is definitely known for the party scene here. Like that's just a thing. I feel like Tulum is more known for like if you want to go somewhere and be like super aesthetic, like take in the Tulum vibes, relax. It's more like spiritual, connect with yourself. Versus Playa, it's like, okay, we're here to party. There's a lot of tourists that come through and they're here on vacation, so they're wanting to have a good time. So that street is definitely a safe bet if you want to go out but you're not sure where you want to go, or if you have people in your group that like different types of music, it's a safe bet and you all are gonna have an amazing time. Number 9 on my list is Palacio Municipal. So this is a place in the middle of Playa. It's essentially this huge like park space with these steps going down. It's kind of forming like a dome inwards. This is, I would say, kind of the heart of Playa del Carmen. Whenever there's an event or show, a concert, anything like that coming up, they will host it at this place because there's a stage and there's tons of seating for everybody there. This past winter, you know, they had their Christmas set up. They did like a ballet recital. They had like an orchestra from a local school. They had this dome that they blew up and they had ice skating in there. So there is just always something happening in the Palacio Municipal. And every weekend there are the different stalls and markets that are set up around this space that you can check out. You want to try like local foods, if you want to try something maybe you've never tried before, if you want to get a souvenir to take back home on your trip to Playa, this is definitely the place to check it out. It just feels like you're kind of a local yourself. As you're walking around, you're looking at all the different markets, you're seeing what you want to eat or to drink. And speaking of drinks, I highly recommend, there is usually a woman selling crema de coco, okay? And so if you've never tried crema de coco in your life, you can find it at this market and try it and your mind will be blown. If you like coconut drinks, that is. But anyways, they just have a ton of different cuisines. They have tacos, they have empanadas, they have sopes, they have gringas, they have all of these different foods that you can try. They also have a place with like natural juices. If you want some fresh squeezed juice, they have a person selling that there, okay, in the clear plastic water bottles. Okay, that's how you know it's authentic. When something comes in the clear plastic, you know, the regular water bottles without a label on it, if they ain't using that, I don't want it. And they have beautiful clothes and jewelry. They have pots, pans, plates, cups, like literally anything that you could want, they have it in there. So I highly recommend that you check it out. It's just a fun time walking around, taking your time, like checking out the different stalls. It is a very, very cool experience. And keeping with the market theme, number 10 on this list is the, I believe it's called the Tianguis Market on 54th Street. This only goes down on Sundays. So if you're here on a Sunday, this is something that you could do, but essentially the whole street is shut down and everybody just sets up their markets on this street. So there is like fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, there's tacos, they have like literally every store you can imagine. They have like clothing stores. This is a really good place if you are a huge thrift person, a secondhand clothing type of person. This is a very, very good spot to go and check out the clothes that they have here and find things at a really, really good price. They also have like stores with like bags, they have stores with shoes, they have stores with toys. There's just a bunch of these kiosks lined up on this street, and it just feels so cool. Like you feel like, again, you're getting that local experience when you're taking your time walking through this market on 54th Street. And yes, the people selling the crema de coco are there as well. So I'm obsessed with crema de coco. So it's recommending you to try it, okay? Because there's gonna be people there as well that you can try it. I highly, highly recommend. Every single Sunday they are there. So I feel like that's a great experience, you know, if you want something more local, more immersive, and not so touristy. There you have it. Those are the 10 things that I would recommend for you to do here in Playa so far. Let me know in the comments if you've been to any of these places that I've mentioned. How was your experience? How did it go? I want to know. And if you have any recommendations yourself, I would love to hear that as well. And of course, don't forget to subscribe, okay? I make videos just like this one every single Sunday. So if you want to continue to see my life here in Playa, hit that subscribe button and I will see you next Sunday.